Good evening. My name is Magdalena Migda and I'm a clinical psychologist and psychotherapist. I work with children, adolescents, families and adults, and today I invite you to listen how to support a child in building sense of safety in school. Safetyness in school is not only about a child, but also about all the relations. So the relations with teachers, with other workers of the school, and with the third pillar of a school, so with parents. I will start with what the sense of safety is and how we can look at it. Probably all of you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That hierarchy tells what is necessary for us to feel good in the world. That's one aspect. And the other aspect is what gives us the ground so that we can develop and realize our plans, dreams, ambitions. On the lowest level of this hierarchy are our physiological needs: sleep, food, things that our organism need so that it can functionate, so that we can survive. Another step is the need of safety. So we can look on the sense of safety as on a need. That need makes us feel good in the world. It's the second level in this hierarchy. Straight after this most basic, which are necessary for everyone to survive. You can see that this need of safety is this ground, is this fertile soil to other needs. The realization of a need of affiliation, respect, and to the need of self-realization. That needs that tells that I live my life the way I want it. I realize my potential, I develop myself, I explore, I get inspired. But to go further, we needed fertile soil, which is not only physiological needs, but also this sense of safety. School is unique because it gives a space to realization of all these needs. Physiological needs, school as a place of eating meals, need of affiliation, as you can observe it, as a child gets older, this being part of the group becomes more and more important. The need of respect in relation with peers, but also in relation with teacher. The respect, but also some nomination and of who I am. And then need of self-realization. School as a place of recognition of my own potential, but also developing my resources, not only educational, but also others. Stopping at this sense of safety, we can ask a question why it is so important. Why it is important to feel and be safe. We can say that it's important so that a child can feel happiness and satisfaction. In a moment I will say why it is so important to feel a happiness and satisfaction. The need of safety has 3 dimensions. First, the most basic, physical aspect. I am safe going to school. Nobody hit me, push me. Can I feel safe in the school where there are a lot of people? Will I not be hungry? This is the dimension of the body. Another dimension of sense of safety is emotional dimension. Can I have my emotions? If there's a space, is there a space in school for my emotions so that I can experience them as a child, but also as an adult, as a teacher? Do I have a right to feel and show my emotions? And another dimension, social dimension. Can I feel safe as a person in this school community? As I told before, school is not only children, it's all workers. It's a director, teachers, and other workers. All these people that says that school can be a safe place for a child. Fulfilling this sense of safety in these 3 dimensions enables a child to develop and to go higher in this hierarchy of needs. Another important thing that we should differentiate is being safe versus sense of safetyness. Being safe is, we look as a child, we see he or she is safe. He has food, he has place to live, he has clothes to wear. I see that the child is safe. But it's something different. It's not the same as sense of safety of this child. Sense of safety is subjective judgment of these 3 dimensions: physical, emotional, and social dimension. So, me as an adult person I have a feeling that I guarantee safetyness to this group or to this individual child. The child is not in danger, but the same child can not feel safe. Maybe he or she is feeling safe in this physical dimension. Nobody kicks me, nobody pushes me, but feels but feel less safe in this emotional dimension. Maybe it's afraid of rejection, maybe it's not feeling like home there, feeling as a guest. In school, in classes, there are a lot of children from Ukraine whose parents don't know whether they stay there or go somewhere else then. And the child may not feel safe in this emotional area because don't know if everything will change in a week, in a two weeks. Uncertainty is a factor that can disturb a sense of safety. A person who is a new student in a class may feel uncertain and not confident. And it can be connected with affiliation, not with fitting in, but with affiliation. Because fitting in is like I have to change so that others accept me. And the affiliation is they accept me as I am. Disturbances in this emotional dimension may cause that a child's need of safety is not fulfilled. The area, the social dimension, is connected with this emotional. It's important that our objective judgment, whether a child is safe, is not the same as the subjective judgment of a child, whether he or she feels safe. We can say that that sense of safety is a need. In life we have many different needs. It is very important to reflect, to look inside and check if my needs are fulfilled. If my need of safety is fulfilled. How we can observe? Today we are talking about supporting a child in building sense of safety. So the first step is observation. If a child feels safe or not. Certain behaviors of a child may be a symptom that shows us that on the ground of this behavior there's a challenge that disturbs sense of safety of a child. Some emotions, less or more visible, may show that this need is not fulfilled. And another aspect connected with our body, with our somatics, our body can give information that I'm not feeling safe. What do I think about saying this? I'm thinking about tension headaches, tension stomachache, and immune system and nerve system. These are areas from body that can say that on the ground of it there's fear So the emotion which tells about a lack of sense of safety. Of course, when it comes to symptoms from a body, we should exclude this somatic ground first. But we should remember that body can also show us lack of sense of safety. Fear is a symptom that says that the person is not feeling safe. Another emotion can be anger. If you had cups and put one on another, and it's the same with emotions. Sometimes this cup that is on the top, when we take it off, it turns out that underneath is something different. Anger is emotion that can cover different emotions. So when we take off anger, it can be fear there. And if we take off the fear, underneath there's lack of sense of safety. Here's the sentence saying that when we feel good, when our needs are fulfilled, that we have feeling of well-being on many dimensions, physical, emotional, social, then I do good things. I do good things for myself, for others, for my society. So when I feel good, I'm in the sphere of my safety. The sphere of safety we call sometimes comfort zone. But this zone of safety, which every one of us have, is like a circle around us. In the center, I feel the most safe. And the closer to the border I am, my body gives me more signals. And when I go out of this safe zone, I lose my sense of safety. It's of course not like we should stay there for the whole life, because we need to go out sometimes. But looking on a child, we can reflect when we imagine a child in this field around, and on which at which place the child is. Is he or she close to the border or no, or not? The closer to the border, our nervous system have a detector that, come on, you are close to this border, and it uses strategy to deal or escape from the danger. We can say that the child is on a ladder. Every one of us is on a ladder. And here I will tell something about our nervous system, how it works, how it cooperates with us, and how it becomes activated, automatically activated, when the danger occurs. Coming back to the simplest model of our brain, here's our brain. Underneath my thumb is an amygdala. Here is here frontal lobes and prefrontal area. Here's autonomic nervous system. When you look at the top of the ladder, you will see that there's safe there. Here, in the oldest part, in autonomic nervous system, there are two systems, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Between these two, there is a vagus nerve, which supports our strategies of dealing with danger and returning sense of safety. That nerve is part of both sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, and is responsible for that social relations may give a danger. This abdominal part of vagus nerve only humans have. We as humans are able to create communities, and that is very comforting. Looking on school as a place of community, it is a place that gives hope for building and returning sense of safetyness. This vagus nerve is responsible for that we are able to use social relations for comforting and returning of a sense of safety and well-being, and it is on the top of that ladder. When a child comes closer to this border, it goes level down. Here, as you can see, strong reactions appear. There are two reactions, fight or flight. Fight scares away the danger. It can be pushing away, kicking, shouting, negotiating. And the flight reaction, so it's escape, it makes me to avoid the danger and come back to safe space. If these two strategies will not cause that I will get my safetyness back, the next step is going level down on this ladder, and it is being frozen. For example, when a teacher on the lesson says something to me, I do not hear it. It's all going apart. It's all it's at that point it is the most difficult to use this abdominal part of vagus nerve and relations as a factor that can bring my sense of safety back. When I'm on the second stage, on the second level, when you see angry boy, then my autonomic nervous system mobilizes my organism. These are all these symptoms such as tension, cold hands, sweating. So my organism is preparing to fight or flight. When a children goes to this lowest, or you will go to this lowest level, going back to the top one, you need to go through this middle. As I told you before, whether a child is safe is not necessarily the same as a sense of safetyness of this child. And we can observe it that the need of safety is not fulfilled. So it's fear, tension, plenty of somatic symptoms, cognitive problems. For example, when a child is asked, he do not know anything, although he or she was studying. That means that he or she is not feeling safe. When I'm not feeling safe, I'm not able to make a good relation with my environment and be good at studying, at creative tasks. These functions are somehow blocked, and our nervous system is struggling to survive. So this, what you can observe, is the top, which you can see there, and underneath there's a need of safety. That behavior, the way of studying, the way of functioning in school is a sign of some needs that are not fulfilled. When my need of safetyness is not fulfilled, also other needs are not fulfilled, such as the need of contact, need of trust. How we can recognize that a child is feeling safe? Here it's the same iceberg. There are some behaviors that we can observe. We can see that the child has energy, feels self-confident, is interested, wants to explore, wants to study. Usually children want to explore, but that's when they feel safe. Then they cooperate with each other and with teachers. Their creativity is activated. Their feeling of competence is activated. Also this social, that I'm on the top level of this ladder. I activate my ability to make relations. It's also relaxation. In the first slides, there was information that safety is important so that child can feel happiness, satisfaction. Why that is important? Because it tells that my needs are taken care of. My need of, and that I, coming back to this Maslow hierarchy of needs, I can develop further. When you will see on this top of the iceberg, safe child has many ways and resources to develop themselves. When you will see on the brain, I'm talking about the area connected with our prefrontal lobe. So the areas responsible for learning, memory, concentration, for using the earlier resources, operative memory, inhibition of emotional reactions. When a child is here on this middle level, so not in this safe area, So it's when amygdala and the autonomic nervous system, this sympathetic part is activated, then I lose the connection with my prefrontal lobe. And the emotions are what works then. Mainly emotions connected with fear, anger. When I lose this connection between prefrontal cortex and amygdala, I have cognitive problems, but I also start to interpret the world according to what amygdala says to me. Because this prefrontal cortex is what says to us, okay, calm down, nothing is going on. We need a prefrontal cortex to that, to calm us. But when a child is on this lower stage level, it doesn't work, and only amygdala works. And amygdala task is to recognize the danger and react with fear. This structure is responsible for our survival, and this prefrontal cortex is what calms us down. It's the same as in some advertisement about a heart and a brain, and heart was very emotional and brain was calmer. Let's encourage children in going to the top of this ladder to use social relations for comforting. Let's invite prefrontal cortex to work. The younger the child is, the more he needs adults to act like the prefrontal cortex. We as adults can help children in their emotion regulation so that they can get back their sense of safety. And I'm talking now around this top level of the ladder, so connected with social relations. What is important? We have the ability of neuroception. We are able to recognize emotional states of others, and children they fit their emotional state to the state of their close ones, to the state of people who are important for them. So, for example, friends, but also a teacher. So a teacher can be regulator for emotions of children as a group, as a class, but also individually. Going to the methods now, to the aspects of supporting sense of safety. First important point, build an environment in which emotions are important. For you as a teacher, for you as a person working in school, my emotions are important. How I'm feeling with that situation. Do I feel fear, anger, sadness? What's going on with me according to this situation in the world, according to my private life? So my emotions are important. And as an adult person, I can take care of my emotions, so then I can take care of sense of safety of children in my class. How we can do this? Maybe drinking favorite tea before going to the class, listening favorite music, maybe after day at work, going for a walk, maybe talking with someone. Probably you already have your own strategies, but the first thing, I notice them, and the second thing, I can have them, and the third thing, what can I do to regulate them so that they can support me and not disturbing. So I as an adult reflect my emotions, but also that emotions of children are very important, that they can feel fear, they can miss the word of emotions is so that there's so diversity in that world. These emotions can cover needs that are not fulfilled. We can say, for example, I see that you are afraid of something. Maybe you are afraid of joining the group. So name what a child can be afraid of and the emotions. So build a world in which emotions are important and take care of your own sense of safety. When I feel safe, what helps me to feel safe? These are questions for you. If me as an adult, I would imagine my safe zone, what would be there? How can I recognize that I come close to the border? When I am not in my safe space, what do I need to contact there? So take care of yourself so that you can help and take care of others. What can support safetyness in the environment? Children like clear rules, clear communication, that is possible to be understood by the people from abroad. Predictability. If there are some changes, it is important so that is introduced earlier. There are sometimes situations that we should exercise before we introduce them. For example, maybe play a role how to ask for a book in the library, So the stability of the conditions, predictability, clear rules. We can use some contracts in class, bilingual communication. Safe environment, and the teacher, safe teacher, who shows his or her emotions. This kind of teacher who regulates his emotions is a model for a child. And can encourage these relations, supportive relations. Why this regulation of emotions is important? I remind now about vagus nerve, and that we use relations to come back to the safety. When we go to this lower level on the ladder, some symptoms are visible, but at this lowest level, it's the moment when the nervous system is activated and inhibited at the same time. And children are on this stage that they regulate their emotions not only through relations but also through physical activity. And it's very important to give the children possibility to physical activity. You can invite children to play some group game, something that will let group to be together in the physical activity. All these games that invite movement and relations, and it's all these things that enable coming back to this top level of the ladder. And the last point, help your child to feel competent. Our children are very competent, and that is important to be focused on these competences that I really believe that the child can deal with it. Maybe I can say, I believe in you. If you need me, I'm here, but I believe you can handle it. It's the same with the plants. If you will water only one plant and not the other, the one that is watered will blossom. And it's the same with the what we support, what we water. We can water the competences and resources of a child. Maybe the children in my class are competent and they can help me when I will ask them, how do you think? What will help you to feel safe in the class? What does it mean for you to feel safe in the class? How do you feel? How you can recognize it in others? Let's find some ways to feel safe. Let's invite children so that they can learn from each other and show that they are competent. Our task. Our task is empathetic accompany to a child in difficult situations and letting him to feel, actively resolve the problems, explore depth of abilities. Loving children, we naturally want to protect them, but their competences will be bigger if we find enough courage to let them explore their own strength. And that's what I wish to all of you and to your children in your classes.